cells are up. Mega thrusters are go. No, no, no! One more time from the top. Hello everyone, welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host Rodimus13, and that's right, your ears and eyes don't deceive you. It's still spooktacular here at Shelf Space. The month of October may be over, but I'm still in charge. And today we're going to look at the accumulation of the last few reviews that we've done. We're going to look at the combined form of these Terracons. We're going to look at Abominus. So, in order to do that, we are going to have to get them into their proper shape. So, let us start with Blot. Alright, Blot, let's give Abominus a hand, shall we? Puns. Okay, we're going to start by taking off his accessories, and then we're going to essentially transform him into his robot mode. We're going to be turning him into an arm. That is his standard placement according to this sheet of paper that he comes with. Make sure all this is jointed out fully. All right. So, robot mode. Now, we'll get his beast mode hands out, rotate these around, and plug them in to the sides of his body. You can see there's a peg and hole right there. Now we're going to undo the back and bring out the connector peg. Now we're going to joint everything so that way, there we go. Okay. And now we're going to rotate that around. And now his hand armor thing will have a bit of a use. Connect that there. And there we go. And of course, because of the way he's designed, he can either be a right hand or a left hand, depending on what you wish. Let's set him aside and move on to Cutthroat. Now it is time for Cutthroat to give Abominus a leg up. More puns, yes. Alright. So for this, since we are going to turn him into a leg, we're not doing anything too drastic to him. Merely fold things up. I'm going to bring his wings down a little bit. And it looks like they peg in there. Not super secure, though. And we will sort of fold up his robot legs. Bring down the beast mode head. And bring up the connector port. And his head does not appear to fall down any further than that for this purpose. Really, it seems like it sort of sticks out like some sort of diabolical kneecap. And that is that. There'll be more to come with him a little bit later. Now, it's time to see what Ripper Snapper brings to the party. Alright, Ripper Snapper. Now, we will find that he actually transforms very similarly to Blot, which makes sense because they're essentially retools of one another, though that's almost an abuse of the term. So we're going to get him into his robot mode to start off with. Get all his lovely joints out. Fold away his tail, because he won't be needing that where he's going. Try to get everything to snap into place. There we go. And his beast mode feet should peg into the sides of his legs. And now, similar to Blot, we're going to rotate his arms around and peg them into his sides. Connection for that doesn't appear to be the strongest, but oh well. Now we're going to rotate that around. And then, after bringing the connector peg up like you see, we bring the hand in. Though I suppose it usually helps if you get the fingers out first. There we go. And again, like Blot, you can do right hand or left hand. It's all up to you. Let's give him a hand. No, the puns won't stop. All right, Cinder Twin. It's your turn to beat feet. What? I told you the puns won't stop. Anyway, his transformation is going to be very simple. As we are just simply turning him into the leg, which does not require as much engineering, I suppose, as an arm. Let's see. Making sure I have everything in its correct position, or at least what the designers deemed correct. We'll get his beast mode feet rotated around. There should be pegs for them, but for some reason they don't seem to be in the position that everything implies they should be. And that's it. Again, there'll be more to him once we get everybody together. All right, now it's time for Hun-Grrr to get into his proper shape. So, first, we're going to remove these parts. They will come in handy later. Now, we're going to flip his beast mode heads down into that. And we're going to open this up, revealing the combined mode head. Get that flipped around in preparation for its final position. Then the tail closes up. And now we can start getting things more into position. There are pegs and holes right there. So everything needs to line up just so. Now, we have those in position, it looks like. We can move this out and then flip these up and bring that over. We straighten these out. They even click into place. And we open the feet up and rotate these around. If this is looking familiar to any of you, it should be noted that Hun-Grrr is loosely based off of Combiner Wars Sideswipe, honestly. Combiner Wars Silverbolt. And it appears one of his horns has gotten slightly bent, but we need to rotate those up. And he's getting quite tall. I'll have to adjust the camera for everything. But there he is. Very interesting. Now, it's time to bring everyone together. All right, we have all the components together now. Let's start getting them formed up. We're going to start by taking the combiner feet and combining them with the extra combiner hands to provide extra stability in combined form. And this plugs in to the port here on center twin. And then we'll do the same for the other leg. There it goes. Again, port right there, peg right there, and it provides a little bit of ankle articulation. Let's go ahead and get these connected on. So you have the combiner port here and here. So all you have to do is slide it on. And it goes into position quite nicely. And oh my goodness, we're getting quite tall already. Let's readjust the camera so that way we can capture all of this on film. Goodness, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get him in frame. So now we need to combine the arms. So we have the port there and there. It should just slide into position. There we go. Making sure everything is where it should be. It feels like something should be locking in there, and it's not. I'm a little bit concerned about that. There we go. He's becoming quite top-heavy. Not surprising. He's got 2 deluxe-class transformers hanging off of him. And to sort of finish things off, we can open up this compartment and add this little bauble in. It is an enigma of combination, specifically one for the Terracons, I believe. There we go. We can even close that up if we want. We are left with the extra guns, which we could just simply have him hold, I suppose. Though he would look a little bit silly. There are plenty of other ports around that you can put them in, though, I suppose. So I must say, he's fairly impressive. Though, looking at him from the side, he does seem to lack a little bit of body. Blot, why do you defy me? There we go. Articulation-wise here, he has rotation all the way around. You cannot adjust this because of the heads. He's got an elbow joint that's technically double jointed, but the limbs are going to prevent full range of motion. He has the same ratchet joints that Hun-Grrr had in his shoulders, and you have a knee joint thanks to the way the combiner peg moves around. You can make him move out, even do a full Van Damme. Impressive for such a large figure. And because of the articulation here, you can actually have him hold wider stances than some of his other Combiner Wars brethren. After a little bit of off-camera adjustment, I've been able to get him a little bit more stable. I even discovered that he does in fact have some articulation in this shoulder, more so than I initially thought. Overall, he's not too bad, I suppose. He's about average for a mainline Hasbro combiner. Speaking of which, let's compare him to some others, such as Superion. This one is an obvious comparison, considering that Hun-Grrr shares some of the same engineering that Silverbolt does, as I mentioned earlier. Next up, we have Minosaur, a fellow Decepticon who apparently is covered in dust. Rodimus 13 should learn to properly dust, if I ever let him out. And now we have Defensor. He looks a little bit more squat in comparison to him. Next, similar to Defensor, we have Bruticus, specifically in his Generation 2 colors. How delightfully garish. And next, we have the exclusive Platinum Edition Leo Kaiser, who's considerably shorter. Look at that. Very surprising. And finally, we have the Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. Again, much shorter, but that's not as surprising considering that he is made up completely of deluxes. Oh, and I suppose as a little bonus, you saw him earlier, but let's go ahead and take a look at him with the others. Here is the tiny little combiner made up of Legend-class Transformers from Transformers Prime Beast Hunters. This was their version of the Terracons, though it should be noted, Blot is not in this combination in favor of, I believe that is Cindersaur right there. So yes, overall, I'm impressed. You can't be expecting a spectacular figure that will blow your socks off for something like this. You can't compare him necessarily to a third-party Transformer where each individual part costs almost $300 by itself. So my recommendation, get all the Terracons. Form Abominus to crush your enemies with it. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, manipulate YouTube into thinking that this channel is worthwhile, because it is. And I will see you the next time you invade my shelf space.
Hey, did you remember to mention that the Prime Masters can go in the hands and stuff? And, he doesn't have any accessories or anything?
Oh, be quiet in there. I'm tired of hearing you complain all the time. Now, if you excuse me, I need to start doing some reviews about Bumblebee and how awful he is.
I seriously would not do that.
Oh, hush. What's going to be the trouble?
Excuse me?
Uh-oh.
Bumblebee, you don't need to see this.
Ah! You hit me! You hit me again! Ah! Why?
Drop it!
Why? Why? Why didn't you get me out of there sooner?
The closet doesn't lock. I thought you were messing around with a friend.
Oh.
I love you, sweetie, but the chores are piled up. I need you to take a break from this, please.
Right.
Not to mention the comic.
Okay.